I am a small-scale farmer and I have been farming since 2017 when I returned to Zambia after about 39 years outside the country. So I always dreamt of coming back to the land. I always dreamt of engaging at community level and really living that community life. We started with the horticulture because we got the property and we needed quickly to be able to generate some funds. So we thought we'll go into vegetable farming because that has a quick turnaround, if you like. But as soon as we hooked up 5 hectares on full drip irrigation and that part of the farm was picking speed, I started looking at animals. I do love animals, and immediately I started buying from the local farmers. Had no knowledge on how to really manage them properly. Numbers started to grow, and with that came all the other problems. So I deliberately started to look around, to visit other farms and to seek information on how to do this better. I started to go for field days, and it was at one such I was then recommended to join the Prospero program. Exactly about 1.5 years ago, Prospero approached me and made a couple of visits to assess the level at which I was operating, and they found me fit to be able to apply and get a grant. I was fortunate to have been given a grant, with which grant was attached training. In that training, it was really hands-on. So I had a team of about 5 members of Prospero who used to come here every week and spend at least 3 hours each time to go through all my activities and to give me guidance on how best to build my infrastructure, to feed my animals, disease prevention, identification of diseases and early challenges with the animals, breeding methods. So that really started to make sense to me. I then made conscious decisions on the quality of the animal. I aspired to improve my genetics, so I got rid of all my local bulls and rams. I bought superior quality from experienced breeders. And then even amongst my females or my ewes, I started to pick females that had good and stronger features. It really made a turnaround. One of the first things that I experienced in a positive way was that once I started practicing improved management, improved genetics, improved feeding, disease control, I dropped my mortality rate at birth to 0. Previously, it was completely haphazard. I used to walk into my corral. First and foremost, I had just one big house. There was lots of young ones who were being trampled. In the morning, I would find animals injured because the bull is mating and trampling the young ones. I found a lot of abortions, but now I have a maternity wing. So as soon as an animal is heavy, I put it in the isolation in maternity. At the peak drop time, I can have up to 20 females waiting to deliver. And because the area is secluded, it was safer for the animals, and I found that the babies were all born safely. I now regularly sanitize the houses. So all the houses every day are swept, all the feeding areas are swept, all the droppings are taken and kept out of the pens, and the animals we dip them every Friday, so we spray them to control the ticks. They are fed twice a day, particularly the weaners and the doper ewes. My experience has been very positive, particularly in understanding diseases. Yeah, because an animal doesn't talk, but it does manifest in different ways, certain symptoms, which previously I was not aware. But it now has taught us and my team to look out every single day. We walk, before we release the animals, we walk through the pens and we carefully look at each animal. And we are able to see when an animal is poorly disposed. And once an animal is showing symptoms of not wanting to eat, it's inactive, it's lethargic, we immediately put them in isolation and we will go through a protocol of medication. I am also online all the time with 2 or 3 vets who can help me to mitigate when there is a problem, medical problem with the animals. So that really, the knowledge about how to manage disease came from my Prospero training. Another really important benefit I got from Prospero was the infrastructure. Previously, at one time I even had over 400 animals in one single house. You can imagine, it was a death trap. But now I know better. I have separate structures for animals at different stages. None of them are overcrowded. They all have adequate feeding, shelter, drink points. Every section is properly demarcated and fenced out. So the pregnant ewes are on their own. The bulls are on their own. The young ones, the weaners are on their own. The little babies will be with the lactating mothers. So everything is more secure and better managed. Before that, I did not have that knowledge, and with that, I suffered quite a lot of accidents. I think before Prospero, I could have had in the range of 40 animals. But with Prospero, it permitted me to buy thoroughbred dopers, for example. I was very keen on working with the dopers. So I got some dopers, which I never previously had. They are better quality genetically. And I now have about maybe 30 dopers and 2 bulls. This I didn't have previously. The local village, let me say maybe Tonga animals, which were maybe in the range of 40, I'm now going on hitting close to 100.